Hello everyone and welcome. Namaste. This is a shorter program. It's a 30-minute program I'm doing, and it's about being in balance. So we all know sometimes we feel a bit off balance, out of balance. Sometimes we're really too busy, and when we try to come to a balancing posture, that's when we really find out that we're a bit off balance. And sometimes balance just really needs to be worked on and practiced, and you do get better. So we are going to begin just in our seated posture. What you might need this morning, and the postures we're going to do, you might need, I'm sitting on them here, you might need a couple of blocks, and you might need a strap. If you've got fairly short arms and you can't reach your foot behind you, then a strap might be handy. So let's just begin. So getting into balance is about being centered. So let's just sit in your most comfortable position. Let your eyes close. And one of the quickest, easiest ways to bring ourselves back into balance is to focus on the breath and try to regulate the breath. So with your eyes closed and your spine straight and you're in your best seated posture, check your neck is long. And let's just take a few really full, deep breaths. Imagine that you're drawing energy all the way up the spine to the top of the head. At the top of the head, pause and release that breath. We'll take a few like that, breathing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. Feel the length and expansion on your in-breath and the release on your out-breath. Just releasing. Now continue. Keep your eyes closed if you're comfortable with breathe in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. And just take a few more so that you settle into the rhythm of the breath. And then let go of the control of the breath. And just come back to an awareness of your normal breath. You're not trying to do anything with the breath. And very often you'll find already it's deeper, it's fuller. Take a couple of breaths there. Let your eyes close if they were open. And just come to being. Here and now, we've arrived on the mat and we're ready for our yoga practice. So with your eyes closed, rub your hands together, cup your hands over your eyes, blink your eyes open a few times, and we'll reach the arms up, lift up from the waist. It's a beautiful day stretch. Release the shoulders, release the elbows, release the wrists, let the hands calm down. Let's repeat. In breath, you can look up if you want to. And out breath, release, 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 and down. We'll take one more. In breath, reaching up, opening up. It's a beautiful day. And coming down, release the shoulders. We'll take a couple of neck rolls, just easing into the neck. And then I'm coming off my blocks and sitting on your bottom, bring your legs out, and we'll just take that nice little spine stretch. So just aiming your knees really into your armpits or something similar. You can hold your toes if you can reach. You can hold behind your knees if you prefer, or you can bring the soles of the feet together. So let's just take a moment here. We're not forcing, we're definitely not bouncing. We're just releasing. Let your head drop forward. I'll just take a few really beautiful deep breaths there. Really releasing that breath. One more. And slowly coming up, and we're going to take our first balance, which is just a bottom balance. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, then just bring one foot down onto the mat. So we'll take a little bottom balance here, just to get in the mood for balancing. If you want to stretch one leg out and the other leg out, you can. So we're just warming up, but if you love boat pose, Navasana, and you'd like to come into Navasana, take a boat pose. Open up, or maybe you're just holding here, whatever you feel. We're taking our first balance. So find your bandhas, use your pelvic floor muscles, your core muscles, and let's just hold for a moment. Wherever you are, let's just hold that balance. Take a nice deep breath. And we're coming over and we're coming onto all fours. There's a little bit of kneeling in the practice. So you might find that you want to do cat and dog on a chair, or the other alternative, if it's just like you don't like taking pressure on your knees, you can just let your knees, I'm going to use 2 blocks here, you can let your knees hang over the edge of one of your blocks, so you're not actually putting any pressure on your knees. Put the other block, I don't think you can see in the video here, the other block, your hands on the other block. So we're just coming into this position, cat pose. We're just going to take a few gentle cats, nice and easy with the breath. However you feel, we're just waking up the body, waking up the spine. I'd like to take some cat circles. You might like to just rock backwards and forwards. However you want it to be. And from here, we're going to come into a down dog. So press through the feet, press through the hands, lift the knees, pause there, find your bandhas, and we'll come into a down dog. So really push your bottom away from you. Let the knees bend as much as you want them to. Try to have the ears and the shoulders not joined up. Try to make a little bit of space there. Just take a couple of lovely, lovely breaths, releasing into the stretch. And then we're going to bring the hands towards the feet and the feet towards the hands. Very slowly, let the knees bend as much as you want. Hands to feet, feet to hands. And we'll come into our forward fold. So just hanging there. Again, we're just letting the legs have stretch, releasing into the spine. Take a moment just to shake your head. Yes and no. Just warming, releasing, wiggling, breathing. And then very slowly, 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 we're coming all the way up to standing. When you get to standing, you might want to take a little bit of a hip circle there. And we'll come to Samastiti. So breathing in to the top of the head. And breathing out down to the feet. Feel that releasing. Feel the heaviness of your feet on your mat as you breathe out. Feel like you're breathing out and allowing gravity to pull you down. So we're looking for that stability. Take a moment just to lift all your toes and put them down. Lift the toes, put them down. Come onto the toes and lift the heels just a couple of times. And here we are, standing in our Samasthiti. 2 more breaths, full deep breaths at the top of the head. Out breath, releasing that out breath to the feet. And this is what we're looking for when we're taking our balance, trying to focus on breathing out to the standing foot. So the first balance that we're going to do, and I think this is a really good everyday thing to do, is just to stretch the toes, stretch the feet, and we'll come into our tiptoe sequence. So first of all, taking the arms off and taking the arms back behind. This is part of it. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Next in breath, we'll come up onto toes. Out breath, bring the heels down and arms behind. Get a shoulder blade squeeze. Next in breath, we're coming onto toes. Now, as we bring the arms down behind us, we're slowly pushing the heels away until the heels are just hovering off the floor. They're not quite there. Hover, hover, hover. And on your in-breath, we'll come all the way back up onto toes, even higher than before if you can. Arms don't have to be here. They could be here. Now, imagine that you're holding on to a bar or straps. Hold on there, and very, very slowly, we're going to push our heels away, bring them down towards the mat, hover, hover, just off the mat, down onto the mat. Stay there and take a deep breath in, breathing out and release. A little wriggle with the shoulders, taking the feet a little bit apart, and let's just swing around. So the next posture that we're going to do, we're working towards stork, and then we're working, if you want to, it's an option to work towards dancer. So I'm going to show you these postures and where we might go with it, because obviously you won't want to be trying to look at the screen and focus on balance. So the first thing that we will do, and maybe this is just where you want to stay, is to come to this position. And maybe you could do variations with your arms up or down. So maybe you're just going to be there. Otherwise, we're going to move from here to here. Now, it might be that you can't actually reach your ankle or your foot. So strap might be handy there. And just pull back a little bit. It's not essential. And the third part, once we've made it to our stork, those of you that are going to stork, then you might like to progress into your dancer pose. So let's just see where we want to go. Let's all start in Samasthiti. Take a deep breath into the top of the head. And breathing out to the feet. So first off, let's just take one leg up. And let's just hold here for a moment. So find your bandhas. Take your arms up as an option. Reaching up and breathe out to your standing foot. Take your arms out to the side as an option and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And maybe that's where you want to stay, or holding onto your leg if you need to. If you want to now come into stork, then sliding your hand to take hold of your foot or your ankle, or using that strap, and we're going to direct knee to knee. Try not to hollow your back, so really pull in at your tummy, directing knee to knee. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, and we're reaching up with the opposite arm. And here we come to our stork pose. So if you're in this posture, let's hold and breathe. Breathing into your hands that are reaching up to the sky. Breathing out to the standing foot. And see if you can pull that knee back a little bit more if you can. Take a couple of more breaths there. So without having to look at the screen, you can either hold here or you can go back to the first posture where we've just got the knee bent and the foot off the floor. Or if you love dancer pose or you'd like to just have a go, then reaching forward and taking the foot up. Stay really focused on one spot, relaxing. I know that sounds strange when you're trying to balance, but it really helps. Taking the foot higher if you're in the dancer pose, but breathe out. Wherever you are, breathe out to your standing foot. Breathing out to the standing foot. And I'm going to meet everybody, wherever you are, I'm going to meet everybody just standing, knee to chest. Have a little ankle rotation. And the other way, relax your shoulders. And we'll come back to Samasthiti. You might feel like you want to shake your legs. Take a deep breath to the top of the head. And breathe out to the feet. So let's take the other side now. So you could be here, or you could be here, or progressing to here. So look away from the screen, find that spot that you want to look at to keep your balance. And when you're ready, let's just take one leg up, just to start to get our balance. Use your core muscles here, just to hold that leg up, takes a little bit of strength. And take your arms up if you want to, or take them out to the side, or squeeze your shoulder blades together. And if you want to progress onto stork pose, take your hand to your ankle or your toe and directing knee towards knee. Taking the other hand up to the sky. And breathe. So breathe into the top hand and breathe out to the standing foot. Directing knee towards knee. Try and stay really steady with your balance. Take a couple more breaths. And then maybe some of you might like to progress onto dancer pose. Or maybe you come back to the first position. Or maybe something else of your choice. If you're in dancer pose, try to take that foot high. Sometimes it's quite hard to get the balance. Breathing out to standing foot. Wherever you are now, when you come out of the balance, go back into something, and let's just see if we can hold it for 2 breaths. Very deep breaths. And breathe out to standing foot. Maybe let's just go for one more. And down. And I'm going to meet everybody. Knee to chest, relax the shoulders. Have a little ankle rotation. And we'll come back to Samasthiti. Breathe into the top of the head. And breathe out to the feet. Let's take one more. Relax the shoulders. Breathe into the top of the head. And breathe out to the feet. We're going to let the knees bend. We're going to come into forward fold. I'll just quickly show you. From forward fold, you've got a choice. You can either lie down on your back, plug your knees into your chest, or you could come into a down dog, and from down dog onto all fours. So if you've taken a moment on your back, I'm going to meet everybody back on all fours. So here we go from our Samasthiti. Let the knees bend and sliding the hands down, we'll come to our forward fold. Just let the arms swing, let the spine stretch, shake head, yes, no. Breathing. So either lie down for a moment or let's start to walk the hands forwards, forwards, forwards until we're in our down. And stretching out there. Let the knees bend as much as you want. Push your bottom away. Really focus on your breath. And from here, we'll come back down onto all fours. Good. Okay, so this might not suit people that don't want to kneel, but we're going to actually take a lunge. So if you just look at the screen for a moment, we're going to take a lunge. If you don't like putting pressure on your knee, again, you've got the option to use your block. Otherwise, find something that will help you. Got my trusted chair here, because we're actually going to come into a high lunge. Okay, so we're going to try and get a little bit of balance once we get there. Okay, so that's your options. So we're all on all fours, or you're already in your high lunge if you don't want to kneel. So let's take this low lunge. Your hands don't quite reach. Put your hands on the block. From here, we're going to take the back foot out. Really stretch out with that back leg. Take a breath. We're going to press through the back toes. Bring your hands now onto your thighs. Requires a little bit of balance to get there. Let the knee bend, the back knee bend a bit. Take the arms up. Let's hold here. Drop the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths wherever you are. And bring the hands down. We'll come into a plank. We're back down onto our knees. So you might need to reorganize yourself if you're not putting weight on the knees. We're coming back into no lunge on the other side. Taking the back foot out. Have a stretch there. When you're ready, press hard through the toes on the back foot. Bring your hand onto your thigh. So it takes a little bit of balance just to get there. If you get there and you feel you can go no hands, take your hands up, bend the knee, lift the chest. Holding here. Take a couple of breaths. Bring the hands back, down, into plank, onto knees, and we're done. Hug your knees into your chest, and just give your back a lovely massage. And bring yourself into Shavasana. And just really start to focus on your breath. Let your shoulders feel heavy on the mat. Feel the hips heavy. Let the arms and the legs relax. And let's just come back to focusing on the breath. Just let that breath go as you feel that sense of release and heaviness. So bringing a little bit of balance now into our breathing. Just taking a couple of minutes here. Breathing in a long, slow, deep breath. And then breathing out, try to count to a count of 4 or 6 if you can take a longer breath, all the way out. So in breath, one big, long, deep, energizing breath. Pause and then try to take longer on the out breath, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In breath. Pause and let that breath go at your count. So we'll take a couple of minutes here. Stay focused, stay relaxed. If the counting doesn't work for you, just focus on breathing in, pause, and breathing out. Just stay focused with your breathing practice. Now letting go and focusing on the breath, focusing on the counting. Just let go, come back to normal breathing, just however it feels now. Before you move the body, just come back to an awareness of how you feel at the end of your yoga practice. Coming to here, coming to now, just being for a moment before we continue with the day. And then just begin to move your body, rub your hands together, cup your hands over your eyes, blink your eyes open, have a little stretch and a wriggle and whatever you need to do. And very slowly, when you're ready, I'll meet you sitting to close our practice. So join in just when you're ready. Breathing in, we take the hands up, bring the hands to the heart and bow to the earth. And let's take that one more time. Reach to heaven, touch to heart, bow to the earth.